Know Yog, Live Yog, Chapter 12, Pratyahar, Dharana and Dhyan. While understanding the Ashtanga Yoga, one has to do the same on both the levels. There is a division or divided opinion over the Bahiranga and Antaranga Yoga levels. Some say that the first four steps of Ashtanga Yoga are Bahiranga Yoga, whereas some incorporate Pratyahar also under it. The last three steps, that is Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi, are the real limbs of the Antaranga Yoga. There is no need to have debate on same, as our objective is to understand the same conceptually and practically as well. If we want to know the things in real sense, we need to go to the roots and try to understand the Antaranga Yoga. In a concerned manner, all the three aspects are progressively interlinked to each other. Next, Pratyahar. Pratyahar is a simple term, means Prati Ahar, that is different diet. Here we are taking or talking about the diet of mind, not of the body. The mind is always extrovert and runs out constantly and comes in contact with the outworld or outside world. The sensory organs are the gateways of mind to be in touch with the outer world. Giving an alternative path to the mind than the normal ones is called as pratyahar. Thus, instability of mind is a problem of everyone, whether practicing yoga or otherwise. When we talk of reducing extrovert tendencies of mind, where to divert the mind is the main problem. Yoga experts advise to take the mind inside. For the common practitioners, it is difficult to understand meaning of inside. He can he can only believe that what is in front of him and may be unable to envisage what is not in front of him. Usually, mind gets turned to the thoughts which one feeds into. Pratyahar to perform in real sense needs concentration and focusing of mind. In the extrovert state of mind, the same is much wavered and lack concentration. Mind is thought to be more precise and connected to the subject of its own choice. This makes the practitioner possible to withdraw his mind from various other subjects and divert it to the subject of own choice. This looks a bit difficult in the beginning, but by practicing it becomes possible. Dr. Makarant Gore defines pratyahar as a temporary dissolution or disassociation of mind from its usual sensory input and turning it inward by forcing on special sensation experienced during yogic processes. In simple language, the attention is turned away from the usual five senses. In simple language, the attention is turned away from the usual five senses. That is Panchanandriyas. Dharana next. This is a step which further narrows the path of mind's journey. Mind has limited liberty to deviate from the subject and is tied to the thoughts so firmly that it becomes difficult to get detached. Deshbandha Chittasya Dharana is a definition of dharana by Patanjali. Desha means the subject, bandha means the tie up firmly, and chitta means mind. Thus, mind gets firmly attached to still core part of the same subject with limited liberty of deviations. In dharana, mind concentrates on micro aspect of any subjects to select and goes at deeper level. In total, antaranga sadhana, this is the most important stage. For how long mind can get focused to any subject or what happens inside the absolute subjective experience. Then dhyan. त्रयेकतान् तथा प्रत्ययाः means continuous experience of dharana is dhyan. Whatever one thinks in dharana becomes the uninterrupted exercise. This stage is called dhyan. The dhyan, the dhyata, that is the person, and the dheya, that is the object, are mingled together to such an extent that they lose their individuality. This stage is difficult to describe as one gets completely engrossed in the same. Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha. Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha is the one more description of dhyan. Mind and subject lose their duality, and what remains is a pure bliss. Initially, there can be some distortion in the process of dhyan, which can be overcome by practice. The condition and training of mind. The condition and training of mind is not that easy as one thinks of. Mind reverts exactly in opposite direction where it is told to go, and any sort of compulsion can be rebound. There is a beautiful comparison of disciplining mind and wild horses. While training the wild horses, he is left in a big ground having compound walls. Till this time the horse has no limitations for roaming, but now he slowly gets restricted to the area of the ground. Same thing happens when we withdraw our mind from all outside subjects and try to focus on the subjects of our own choice. Free wandering of mind is thus checked in pratyahar. Once the horse is conditioned to the ground, subsequently he is tied with the rope of the pole in the grounds. With this, his free roaming throughout the ground is restricted to the circumference of the hoop. This happens in dharana. When mind gets tied to only specific topic, mind is not permitted to attach beyond the topic of choice, that is deshbandha chittasya dharana. After getting conditioned with the rope, the same gets converted into the rein, which controls the horse. The conditioning of the horse into a controlled horse, that is the conditioning of the wild horse into a controlled horse, is parallel to the wild mind with controlled and cultured mind. Both bear with the same rein, not through compulsion but with choice. The uncontrollable mind gets controlled with the rein of dhyan and can be taken in any direction and with any speed. The corollary of horse and mind is easy to accept because both have tremendous potential, which, if managed well, can be miraculous. The impact of antaranga sadhana is something different and absolutely subjective. There are no parameters of success or failure of same. When one expresses it in any manner, the same has to be accepted on its face values. The simple parameter of its impact is changed behavior of the practitioner. The Antaranga Sadhana or Antaranga Yoga has the name denotes is a bit complex issue, and to understand it we need to go really deep.